Welcome back, dear students. In this lesson, we are going to look at setting up Remix IDE for vanilla Solidity development. Remember, as you're learning about Solang Solidity, I want to as well take existing vanilla Solidity smart contract for ERC20 on Ethereum, and then we'll modify it along the way. We're still going to learn the syntax and a lot of things with Solidity, Solang Solidity, so that we see how it's put to work. So this section is just to show you how to set up a development IDE for vanilla Solidity development. So later in the other upcoming section, we will now discuss when we start building these things. We'll use it to build our ERC20 smart contract, try to learn one or two things from it, then now take it from that Remix IDE and transform it to Solang Solidity for Solana program. Now, what's the Remix IDE? If you are new to Solidity, is an online tool that you use just like you have your VS Code editor on your system. You can use it. I think there's VS Code.div or something you can use in browser. So it's the same, like it's a widely known IDE for Solidity that you can quickly use to prototype, build, and there are a lot of smart contracts you can build directly without using other advanced tools at all. So that's what we are going to use, and this section is just to put you through setting it up. So if you go under the resources, you will see Remix IDE. Yeah, we have it loaded and can accept the analytics or decline. This is how Remix IDE looks, and I will take you through a brief walk on it. That's just to prepare you for when we will need it later in the course. So usually you have here the home, you have the file explorer. This what shows the files you're having, and then you can search. You have the compiler here. So the compiler, like I've given you example here already, that all these languages like Solidity need compiler to work with EVM. So just like the same, like the compiler in this case is Solang, and then to work with Solana, so as LLVM bytecode or BPF code. Now the same thing is what you are seeing here. That's why you need the compiler, and they come in different versions. So I think by default the version is 0.821 latest, but it's picking maybe the most stable by default. So that's why you see 0.8, but yours, depending on when you'll be watching, could be far more higher. So that's what that is for. And here is where you deploy your contracts. You select the blockchain you want to run on, like if it is div testnet, like all these ones are like you are running a local server, so you can just leave it here. You don't need to connect with MetaMask or other things like that. So then if you pick any of these, for example, you have lots of accounts. So if you are testing and building and testing, you can switch from one account to the other. Maybe you deploy here and you need to transfer and test this, then you can do that here. Then the gas limit, I usually just leave it like it was optimized before. Then the value, all those. Then this is, for example, if you already have a contract, you want to load it, you have the code, maybe you have deployed before something, then you can put it here, the link here as well. And here you will see when we deploy smart contract in future lessons, you will see it being listed here. So under the workplace, you can create a new workplace, and you can use the default. You see contract. This is where your contract is, and Solidity contract or files are saved as .sol, that's .so. Just like if it is HTML, it will be .html. If it is JavaScript, just JS. Understand? So like that and like that. If it is Rust, for example, .rs. The same when you are dealing with Solidity smart contracts, you have .so. Then usually you have a script. This script usually, like in JavaScript, might be TypeScript, which you use to like simulate the front end. Like if somebody is interacting with this contract, how will it work? Will it actually perform what is expected to do? So that's what you are seeing here, and those are the major things. If you close the contract, have the script. So those are the major things that you need to. A lot of things has been set up. If local development, you have to set up npm packages or those things. You don't need them. They're already pre-configured for us to use here. So, and you can have multiple smart contracts opened or closed at any point in time. So then you can see an example of a Solidity smart contract, which is storage as a variable, state variable, called number. You can see what I was saying the last, that usually is uint 256. Don't worry, we'll learn about all this under the section of the syntax and all those things, including functions. You have, this is store, then you pass this argument, and whatever you pass in is assigned here. That's what you see here. Then the same, this one is used to retrieve all this public view return. What are they working? We'll still discuss them, as this course they intentionally built it to be an entry course. So either you are moving, have experience with Solidity, moving to Solana, you still find it helpful with Solang Solidity, just moving from vanilla Solidity to Solang Solidity. But at the same time, if you are a beginner completely, maybe your first time from maybe JavaScript and then or Python, trying to get into Web3, learn Solidity and things like that, and build on Solana, then it's also covered. That's why I'm covering everything in detail. So that's it. I also have a course on Solidity on its own, where we went all through this thing one by one as well. So you can enroll for the course as well, which is free, and go through it. You still learn a ton and a lot more. So I think those are the basic something in here. Let me try and deploy this. There are other ones, you can see them. But if I want to deploy this now, remember, I come here. Usually I love to set it to auto compile, you see, so that as I'm making adjustments, it will be compiling and then be telling me if it needs compiler. So if there's error or something like that, so you can see it now. Once it's green, it has compiled successfully, and then I can come here and just, you see this 100 hits. Once I deploy, you see I spend some hits to pay for fee and some other things. If you want to learn some of those things more in depth on vanilla Solidity, you had better go for that course. You can see it. Can retrieve what is here, which is 0, and then I can pass 5 store success, then retrieve. You can see it. So those are just these. If you have questions, get stuck, need support, need help, that's why the community is there for you. Head on to the community, Discord or whatever we are using part time, because we are working on AI too and some other things to support developers. So just checking the community Discord first, and then you'll be able to get support at any point in time. I remain Solomon Foske. Keep the programming spirit and alive, your only assurance to succeed long term as a developer. And please always do good to humanity and nature with your programming skill and not evil. See you in the next one. Bye for now.